heading to New England this week? Just kind of what's the mindset for this team?
Finish, strain, finish, beat us. Beat us. Know who we are, know what we've been doing, know who we are, and go in there and play a good game of ball. The Patriots have done a good job this year of playing football the right way. They got that new coach and they're booming. So we respect it, and we know that the energy that is involved, and we just got to just focus on us. Keep winning practices, keep winning, bonding sessions, and go out there and play for one another, and continue to leave it all on the field. Play like 17.
Dion, you guys have won these consecutive AFC East championships, and the Patriots are the ones that can take that away from you guys if they win this game. How much of anything does that play into this week for you guys?
Well, I didn't even know that existed. So thinking about it now, life goes, right? It's a roller coaster. We've been winning for a long time to an extent, right? So we know how to win. We know what to do. So if this is their hat and T-shirts game, then our job is to win a football game and, stop a hat and T-shirt game. But good for them.
Dion, you mentioned play like 17. Does it surprise you, or do you feel like it's a coincidence that 4 of his best games this year have come against Burrow, Mahomes, Lamar, and Baker?
You guys be knowing some stats. That's insane. So his best games come from those opponents.
His 4 best games have been against those quarterbacks.
Wow. Well, I tip my hat to Scally for, being Scally, but that is a fact that I did not know. So I guess, good job, Josh Allen. Good job, Josh Allen. But it says what it is. Like I know every year those familiar names are the guys that are in the MVP race and stuff like that. Who knows? Maybe he puts a little extra umph on it, but I can't even say that because Josh gives his all every game. So I don't think that the opponent really shows or tells, but Josh is a competitor, man. Whether it's Tom Brady or Burrow or Mahomes or Kyler Murray, like Josh is going to play to win, and he wants to be the best athlete on the field. So whatever he has to do to be that, it's obviously showing, but it's kind of cool that he's doing that against some, prime pillar opponents and, throwing his weight around because we see it on game day.
I can't remember what coach said this. I'm kind of mad that I can't remember it, but he said that in December, elite run games travel. Like for you guys,
It's true.
establishing that on the road, like what goes into that?
What goes into being an elite running offense? Knowing that as the season goes, you have to be able to do all 3 phases to win a football game, right? And I'll start with special teams because it starts the football game. Then it goes to either offense or defense. And then as it goes, it breaks down with them passing and running and screens and all of our gimmick plays and stuff like that. Football is running and throwing and tackling, right? You have to be able to use every aspect of winning a football game to win games. Late in the season, even early in the season, but you have a little bit more leeway early in the season. But at the end of the season is really when everything has to come in full fold, because you can't go into a game and be like, all we have to do is stop the run and we'll win. No, because teams that go the distance late in the playoffs can do all phases: run, pass, screens, deep balls, short balls, everything. And it's cool that we have a good team. It's great that we have a great offensive line and a great running back to be able to run. But, that's just a phase of football that you have to be able to check that box off with the golden star to be able to win games late down towards the end of the season. But it just gives us confidence, right? It gives us confidence that we know that there's a lot of different ways that we can win a football game. And to have Cook and to see Cook play free and just do his thing and run behind the big boys, it's a beautiful feeling. Because I always say, right, like, it's hard to win games. And for offensive linemen, it's hard to be an offensive lineman. And when you can run forward at a defender instead of go backwards, with a great defender in front of you, it makes football just that much easier, which run blocking is still extremely hard, but it just makes it that much easier.
Going off of that too, just important games in December, but playing divisional opponents, does it mean anything more, even the slightest, given the opponent and even what's at stake come Sunday?
Can you ask your question again for me?
The game Sunday, late December game, you're also playing a division opponent.
Right.
How you guys want to take care of the division opponents when you
Right.
play them. Just, does it mean anything more than it would be in another game?
Yeah, of course. Because we know going into the season every year, win every game, of course, but the individual battles are win your division. Winning your division is not the easiest way, but that's the first way to be able to punch your ticket into the postseason. And divisional opponents play us the hardest, as I always say. The Jets, the Dolphins, the Patriots. Those games are extremely hard. In previous years, like, I'm not trying to take no jabs, but like the Jets' record might not show how good of a football team they really are. They're always missing just a little bit more, right? Just a little bit. But they play us extremely hard. And that goes for the Patriots and both the Dolphins, right? So, yes, we know that the divisional games are like playoff games. No matter how they end up on a schedule, whether it's beginning, middle, or end, which they are all of those throughout the season, they're hard. So we play playoff games throughout the whole season. And the fact that the Patriots are a different team, it just makes it that much more exciting. But great teams are going to play each other on Sunday. That's why we play in football. We want to play against good teams. We want to play against good players. Nobody wants it to be easy. Nobody doesn't like drama. This is what this is, right? Like we're football players that entertain, right? And we're entertaining the world by playing great ball. And that's what we're looking forward to doing on Sunday.
Dion, I know during training camp we like to ask you sometimes who's standing out to you in August. And back in August you were high on Tyrell Shavers. Now that it's December, what have you seen from him this season? Just kind of his ability to help this team.
I think the mental strength that players have is very impressive, right? Like, for receivers that don't get 20 targets in a game or even 15 targets in a game and to be able to go out there and block, right? It just shows selflessness of a player. And when you have selflessness players, you have an opportunity to win. And he asked a question about the run game earlier, and shame on me for just saying running behind the big boys, and I'm glad that you asked that question because it reminded me, but the run game is the whole offense, even the quarterback, right? Shavers has been blocking his behind off all season long, and to have skinny guys that block like big guys, it just is a beautiful sight. And as I always say, I tip my hat to guys like that. But Shaves has showed the type of player he was in preseason, in camp, and now in the season he's showing it. And if you look at the film and you look at what Shavers is doing, he is a special gem in this offense. And when guys on the edges and the perimeters can do their job, skinny guys on skinny guys, and he's winning battles. And we respect it, and we need those guys to win battles in the run game. And they know it. They're a huge part of it, just like the big guys from left tackle all the way to right.
You're one of the vets on this roster. What have you said to younger teammates about the type of mindset that you want to see in the final 4 weeks of the regular season?
It's really just, a good question, Maddie, but it's really just stay who you are, trust your process, master your process, right? And when you master your process, it continues to build confidence in yourself, and just be yourself, right? Like, you don't have to do nothing different from a divisional game to a playoff game to the first game of the season to a game where you're trying to make the roster. Everybody just master your process, do your job, and do what you've been doing the entire season, and just do it better to the ability that you can do it, but stay in your routine. Stay who you are. Don't do nothing different. Don't start doing Pilates tomorrow. Don't start doing yoga. No, stay who you are. If you lift weights on Tuesday and Wednesday and you get in a sauna and you get in a cryo or the oxygen tank, master those crafts, right? Stay in there for the hours that you're doing it. Be the best in your process, and that's all that we can ask for. This is the NFL. Guys are good. Stay in your process, be yourself, and that's all that we can ask for. Because the management, like upstairs, has you here for a reason, and they know that you can master your craft, master your process. Show the guys that you're going to master your craft. You're going to be the best version of yourself when that game starts on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever the game is.
Yeah, we hear about it all the time on the outside about how football is different in December and January. From your perspective, what changes this time of year?
You tell me. What do you see different on the football field end of the season from players?
I think some teams rise to the occasion. You know, they don't the details a little bit more. They hone in on those. But that's just from my seat. That's from my seat. But what do you think?
Well, I think that your seat has a good visual. Is why I reversed that question. But you would see a lot of passion, right? A lot of passion, a lot of grit, a lot of, if we don't win, we're going to fall off the cliff. Like guys that change, right? And guys that might be fighting for incentives. Like who knows, bro? Like the end of the season, guys doing different things when they should have just been doing a consistent thing the entire season long. You know, if you put $1 in a day at the end of the season, you'll stack up all those dollars, right? It's 18 games, so you should have a bucket that says 18 instead of getting to the last 2 games of the season and having a bucket that says 8, and now you're trying to fill that bucket up with 10 more dollars on the last 2 games, right? So hopefully that analogy makes you like understand, but that's what I see, bro. I see guys that fight. I see guys that, you know, give it their all, and I see guys that try to do things differently than they have ever done in the earlier part of the season, and that's why people make mistakes towards the end and they knock themselves off. But when you have the mindset of being consistent and staying who you are, you have a better shot. Great.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.